Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune-up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty, so I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show, and I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, my beloved. I'm Monica Bermudez. I am the host for this podcast. Welcome back to another powerful and activating episode. In this episode, I want to dedicate some time to discernment discourses or heart discernment. So serving as a practical guide for our discernment. And so this may be one of many discourses. For us, as we're going through all these changes on this new earth, as you know, we're beginning stages of it, and also what is collapsing now around us, systems that are no longer working for us, keeping ourselves together and balanced even in these chaotic times. So I often talk about heart discernment, and the intention of this episode is to really get into an understanding of discernment and ideas for refining your own heart discernment. And toward the end of the episode, I will share 3 practical techniques to build your discernment. So sharpening more of that discernment within yourself. So let's start with some of the basics of what it is. When I look at certain different dictionaries, they all have different ways of defining it. And in most cases, they use the word judging, but in this case, it's not really judging for me. So the one dictionary that comes closest to how I want to define this is the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, which defines it as saying that it is a quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure, what is hidden. I like to look at a discerning heart as an intuitive heart that is able to give you insight on what is for you and what is not for you in relation to your soul. And more specifically, what is false light, because there has been a lot of that lately. And so as the earth is receiving these new energy codes, that means that a lot of things are being exposed to what is the truth of the light. A lot of corruption is also being revealed within the light that has been hidden for so long. It's always been there, and it's just now becoming even more evident and stronger, putting it right in front of our face, right in front of us to really see. And so with these new energies, though, it's also expanding us more so to really become more self-aware of our own bodies, our own messages, our own guidance. So it is important to know that the best heart discernment is the one that works with your solar plexus chakra too. So oftentimes we get this feeling of this gut feeling right here in our stomach area. Feels like the stomach area just kind of gets knotted sometimes when it wants to tell us something. But I can also feel this connection to the heart chakra center as they're working in conjunction with one another. And as I've said, in previous episodes, the heart chakra center is the center of all the chakras, and they're actually working in conjunction with one another throughout the whole body. So they are meant to work in unison, and just like the rest of your chakra system in your body, I meant the solar plexus and the heart chakra center. And really, it is this network of intuition, connection, working with your higher self to receive the messages and connecting to what is in your soul contract agreement and purpose. So intuition is being able to tap into the invisible and to distinguish what is fake and what is false light, false prophets, or scammers. There's been a lot of scammers also out there. Because really, what is like a false prophet or a false light is really another way of like calling a scammer. And then you have scammers also on social media pretending to be a friend of yours who may have, had their stuff hacked or somehow breached, and or stolen, identity of names. And these are the areas that we must be the most careful of these days. And that is why a heart discernment is so important. And then, on top of that, we also have those who are like antichrist, but I would like to call them antichrist consciousness. There's been a lot of those as well. And so this can present itself as certain red flags within ourselves. As I mentioned, you could feel like a knotted area here in our stomach. Something just really feels off. And it's really going beyond the veils of the invisible. The veils, right now are much thinner. So as we are receiving these new energy codes, we're expanding our horizon, tapping more into our own soul connection, waking up more to who we truly are at the soul essence. So these veils no longer work for us. And these were the veils of forgetfulness, the veils of, something that we agreed to coming to the earth or reincarnated. And we said, okay, we'll just go through the veils, knowing that the time that comes now, right, that we're going to this ascension, this awakening, that we will remember again. And so that's what's happening right now. And so you're remembering that power that you hold within yourself, but you're also remembering other abilities, natural abilities that are naturally coming out of you. So as I mentioned in previous episodes, it is important to have this amount of discernment because of the significant amount of chaos, like an increased amount of scams and false lights ongoing right now. And as a result of this chaos, there has been a huge amount of cult groups being exposed this year, and a lot of it centered around twin flames. And I do feel this term is evolving to something else. And although the term twin flame has been around since ancient times for eons, I do feel this will evolve into something new, a new term, a new way of expressing it in the new world. And as I've discussed in previous episodes, twin flame is about the energy within our divine feminine and divine masculine union. It's a power source. It's an empowerment of us, inside of us. And that is something that you must remember, of that wholeness that you hold within yourself, and knowing that you can overcome anything that may come up that may feel like it is something that needs to be healed. You're working in that unison together to make it happen, to support yourself. And I've gone into more in depth in some of the previous episodes series of the Ascended Twin Flames series of discourses, of messages around this focus on different topics. So back to some of this cult craziness that is going on right now, a lot of it being exposed. And I'm sure it's because it has to do with some certain planetary astrological event occurring as well that is impacting the earth and also creating more of this fakeness and facade to be revealed and the corruption to be seen as well. So a long time ago, back in 2019 and 2020, I remember a friend of mine shared a post of this up and coming couple who was all into their, spiritual business, and they were growing in the social media space of followers. And so when I got the link, I thought, well, just review what they have to say with an open heart, but still be discerning. In other words, and also like discerning is about not attaching to something not getting too overly excited about the first thing you hear, right? Just because it is a message that you've been talking about, or because somebody is like, actually all of a sudden, it's something that you felt that nobody else was, listening to you. And these are the areas you have to like really navigate and pay attention to within yourself. So just keeping that open heart, but not being attached to the message, and just allowing yourself to really listen and determine what is for you, what resonates. So as I was hearing them speak, they would talk about cosmic energies, they talk about all things about twin flames and so forth. All the things that I normally like to hear and talk about, galactic energy codes and all this other stuff. But every time I would hear their words, something would feel off in the energy. Somehow their words and the energy were not connecting. And then I got this sense of red flag. And so in that red flag is something that I started to pay attention to and trust, that maybe this is just not for me. It just doesn't resonate with me. And not that there's anything wrong with that as well, it's just not, something that, and so I'll just trust whatever it is that, being guided, that this is not for me. So just set it aside. And honestly, I didn't really know anything about their background story, or, how they even got started in this type of line of business that they're doing. And so, just recently I was asking myself, because I noticed that their circle of a group of followers was increasing every time. And I couldn't explain why it was that I was feeling this way. And they would be invited to certain podcast shows to talk about their story. And I just saw them being invited, but I never listened to any of their podcast episodes. And so I was asking myself just recently, am I the only one feeling this from them, that there is something off with the energy? And I'm wondering to myself, what is it about the energy that I feel that is really off? And I got my answer in a couple of days when a friend sent an article about the exposure of the corruption in that group, and that how much they were very cult like type group. And so in that moment, I realized what it was that I was feeling as a red flag, what my intuition, my own discernment was guiding me to really be aware and to watch out. So my point of the story is that you can still be open-hearted, but also having that heart discernment to tap into your intuition and listen to any red flags, or if something feels like really off. The same may happen in relationships of any kind. Is really paying attention to all those red flags, right? Going into conscious dating, for instance, and I talked about it in another previous episode. Going to a specific house, something feels off in the energy, or even a building, or in a work environment. And so just really listen and tap into your heart to be intuitively guided. So let's explore 3 techniques to polish your discernment. Number 1, start by doing this constant and daily practice, and connect with your own heart chakra center on a daily basis while sitting by a tree. Be immersed in the energy of the tree and ask the tree to assist you with the heart connection within. So if you're not near a tree to do this actually physically, which would be like ideal, you can also visually just visualize yourself sitting by a tree, and you could just connect with the heart center of the tree and tree spirit, and really just ask for that assistance to be focused in your own heart center, your own chakra center, and attunement, and really emphasizing that and setting intentions around what it is that you wish to get out of this focused energy. Tapping into that and connecting to all your other chakras as well, especially your solar plexus, and building that relationship with one another as well. And number 2, this has, worked for me a lot, is to try to detox from time to time when you feel like there is too much heaviness or feels like something in your sacred body temple, right? Because your physical body is like a sacred temple. You want to cleanse it from time to time to be, lighter. And this would help also to increase your intuition as well, which is also part of your own heart discernment. And some of the, and of course, you would detox with whatever works for you, right? For me, what has been working is that I've been using a lot of medical medium celery juice. And I've been doing that for a while now. And I do feel a huge difference in my body, like really deep cleansing physical body. And it helps me to really tune in to my own heart and become more attuned to that discernment. And the last one from this is to really meditate. And it could be like any type of meditation that you feel drawn to. It could even be yoga, but in those meditative moments, you also include your heart every time that you do that, and you build that focus and that energy around your heart to really start reconnecting it and igniting it to be reconnecting with your whole body and your own self. And I just did a really powerful meditation with Divine Mother. That was in a previous episode. So I highly recommend that one as well, because that will also build on your discernment as well. And I have a book coming out soon that will also emphasize a lot of these points when it comes to our heart discernment. And it is a very powerful, practical guide of alchemical formulas of transformation for cracking that code of our own heart chakra center. So I will leave you with this message, that emphasis that it is important right now to really do the best you can to really build on your own heart discernment as you go about and listen, with other information that you may be receiving. But essentially is what resonates for you. Doesn't matter who is channeling in that moment. But, don't get too attached and be a blind follower. Because remember that we all hold the information within ourselves. So don't be dependent on someone else to give you the answers. And that means to anybody else who's channeling out there, because you are your own channeler. And this is the empowerment that I wish to impart with you, to empower you to be your own independent channel, to be your own independent information. And of course, it's good to get some validation here and there. The ones that resonate, right? Pay attention to the red flags around you and don't fall trap to some of these. And if you do, it's okay to just acknowledge that, and then just get the healing and the activation that you desire, from it. But at least then it also builds that awareness as well. So I will catch you in another episode. I am sending you love.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.